contenders. Is it decided that it will be Mr. Siddaramaiah because he is, of course, a pan-Karnataka face? Here is DK Shivkumar. What works for him? What is his strength? He is seen as a master strategist, someone who is visibly the troubleshooter for the Congress. The Congress High Command often ropes him in whenever there is a crisis in other states. The weakness, though, for Mr. DK Shivkumar is that he faces several corruption allegations. He has also spent some time in jail because of those corruption charges against him. But opportunity. He has edged out JDS completely in that old Mysuru belt of JDS because he has managed to move that constituency of the Ligas to visible. Siddaramaiah, Zaka says that he is almost that cult which is similar to Lalu Yadav, its leader of the Congress party in the state of Karnataka. The weakness, though, is that age may not be on his side. By the time he completes his tenure as the chief minister, he would be 80 years old. The opportunity, whether he will be able to keep this momentum, translate 136 seats into the number of seats also in the Lok Sabha in 2024. Of course, the threat constantly is DK Shivkumar as KPCC chief, constantly needling him or perhaps interfering in the governance matter. Here is G. Parmeshwara, someone just before the results had thrown his hat into the ring, saying clearly that he is also a contender. Look at me favorably. That was a message to the Congress High Command. He is the former Deputy Chief Minister. He lacks mass base. He doesn't have that appeal, can't really enthuse cadre much. So that is his weakness. The opportunity certainly is because in these elections, the Congress has managed a vote shift in the threats is a friction with popular leaders in party. But Zaka, you know, when we are looking at various constituencies, the Lingayats, the Vokaligas, let's talk about the SCs.
Oh, absolutely. I think 100% right. I think the other big shift that's happened in this election is the Dalit vote. Traditionally, you know, in Karnataka, funny sort of analogy, there's the SC left, which votes for the BJP, and there's the SC right, which votes for the Congress. It should be the other way around, one would imagine. But anyway, be that as it may, just take a look at the SC reserve seats in Karnataka. In 2023, the Congress has won 21 out of the 36 SC reserve seats, a gain of 9. The BJP won only 12. That's a loss of 4. You go back and check in 2018 how that picture played. It was the BJP. There are certainly some seats in the central part, and of course in Hyderabad, Karnataka, you do have a bunch of Dalit dominant seats, all of which are the Congress. The ST reserve seats, and there's a even more phenomenal story. This is of course concentrated in that Bellary, Yadgir, Raichur, that belt. Look at this. This is an unbelievable sort of statistic or figure. Out of the 15 ST reserve seats, 14 of them have gone to the Congress. 14, that's a strike rate of 95%. 14 out of 15 seats have gone. That is gain of 6. The BJP has not won a single ST reserve seat, including, you know, some giants like Sri Ramalu have been felled in this election. And I think one of it has to do with this whole reservation business for the ST community. Particularly, I think the Banjara community, there was some major issue around that.
As soon as it was announced, they went and threw stones at Yediyurappa's house in Shivamoga. Yeah. That happened. See, you look at that. If you had put percentages on that, you would see whether this thing about conversion of votes into seats went wrong. Maybe it was just that also. You know, I'm saying I don't understand it. This is something that needs to be studied. It's a big one.
All right, I think DK Shivkumar is about to speak. He's the KPCC president, one of the two men of the moment, as I put it. But let's listen in to what he has to say.
Hey, Sunil. Vyakti puja put Pakshit puja madi first. AICC ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಅಂತ ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ್ ಖರ್ಗೆ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರೆ, ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ ಪಕ್ಷದ ನಾಯಕರಾದಂತ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರೆ, AICC ಜನರಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ವೇಣುಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ AICC ಜನರಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಇನ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಸುಜ್ವಾಲ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರೆ, ಹರಿಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಅವರೇ, ನಮ್ಮ ವಿರೋಧ ಪಕ್ಷದ ನಾಯಕರು, ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷಗಳು, ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಐಸಿಸಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಇನ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರೀಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಿಂದ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪೇನ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಖಂಡಗಳೇ, ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರೆ, ಡಿ.ಕೆ. ಸುರೇಶ್ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನೂ ಹೆಸರು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬೇಡ. ಈಗ ಇದು ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಗೋಷ್ಠಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರೆದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಲೇ ಆಯ್ತು, ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಭಾರತ್ ಜೋಡೋ ಭವನ, ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರ ಭವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾರತ್ ಜೋಡೋ ಆಡಿಟೋರಿಯಂ. ಈ ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುವ ಗೆಲುವಲ್ಲ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನತೆಯ ಗೆಲುವಿದೆ. ಹಿಡಿದಿದ್ದಂತ ಗ್ರಹಣನ ಇಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಜನರು ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ದಂತ ಕಣ್ಣೀರನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು ಒರೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಜನರ ಮುಖದಲ್ಲಿ ನಗು ಅರಳುತ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಗ್ರಹಣ ಬಿಡಿಸಿದಂತ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಜನತೆಗೆ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಯನ್ನ ಹೃದಯಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದಂತ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಗೆಲುವಿಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಾರಣಕರ್ತರಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಂತ ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ ಖರ್ಗೆ ಗೆಲುವು 40% ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಗೆಲುವು, ಗೃಹಿಣಿಯರ ಕಣ್ಣೀರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಇದು ಗೆಲುವು, ಯುವ ಸಮುದಾಯ ನಿರುದ್ಯೋಗ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಗೆಲುವು, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ನ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿಯ ಗೆಲುವು. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಬೆಳಗಲಿದೆ. ಖರ್ಗೆ ಸಾಹೇಬರು, ಸೋನಿಯಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು, ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು, ಪ್ರಿಯಾಂಕಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ನಮಗೆ ದೀಕ್ಷೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರೇ ಬಂದು ಕೆಲವು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂದೇಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಬಂದ ಗೃಹಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಇದೇ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾದಂತಹ ಯುವನಿಧಿ ಯುವ ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬಲಿದೆ. ಬಡವರ ಅನಭಾಗ್ಯ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ. ನಾನು ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯವರು ಮೈಸೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾಡ ದೇವತೆ ತಾಯಿ ಚಾಮುಂಡೇಶ್ವರ ಸನ್ನಿಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಣಾಳಿಕೆ ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ಬದ್ಧ ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜನರ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ತೀರ್ಪನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜನತೆಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಸಾಷ್ಟಾಂಗ ಶಾಸಕರು, ವಿರೋಧ ಪಕ್ಷದ ನಾಯಕರಾದಿಯಾಗಿ, ಖರ್ಗೆ ಸಾಹೇಬರಾದಿಯಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಜೊತೆಯಾಗಿ ನನಗೆ ಸಹಕಾರವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಈ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಮಾತು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ. ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಸೋನಿಯಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ನನಗೆ ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇವೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಆ ಋಣವನ್ನ ತೀರಿಸುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗ್ಯ ನನಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ತಾಳ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಸೇರಿ ಜನ ಏನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ ನಂಬಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಸಭೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕರೆದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ನಿರ್ಬಂಧವನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
Tomorrow we will be calling a legislative meeting where all the legislators will be invited, where there will be a discussion that has been our regular culture as well of the party, to speak to them
the success of all of you
and make some decision regarding the party.
The worker as supporters, and victory belongs to everyone from the national level to the taluka level. I thank everyone for this great opportunity. Evening,
Thank you, Shiv Kumar ji. Let me as Shiv Kumar ji has said, with permission of Congress President, we have called the first meeting of the Congress legislature. Opportunity to thank nearly 150 to 200 leaders, general secretaries, MPs, ex-ministers and others who also came and worked alongside the workers and leaders of Karnataka in different constituencies. I now request...
You heard there from DK Shiv Kumar, the KPCC chief. You'll hear in a moment from, of course, Siddaramaiah, the CLP leader. And the meeting has been called for 5:30 tomorrow, the Congress Legislature Party meeting, in which they will have to decide which of these two gentlemen goes on to become the next Chief Minister of Karnataka. Maybe we can listen in for a couple of minutes to Siddaramaiah and then we'll come back after that.
ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂಥ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ ಖರ್ಗೆ ಅವರೇ, ಎಐಸಿಸಿ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳಾದಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ವೇಣುಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಅವರೇ, ರಣದೀಪ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಸುರ್ಜೇವಾಲಾ ಅವರೇ, ಪ್ರದೇಶ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂಥ ಡಿಕೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರೇ, ವಿಧಾನ ಪರಿಷತ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಿರೋಧ ಪಕ್ಷದ ನಾಯಕರಾದಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಹರಿಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಅವರೇ, ಎಐಸಿಸಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳೇ, ಕಾರ್ಯಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರೇ, ಇತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೆಳೆಯರೇ, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಮುಖಂಡರೇ, ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಮಾನ್ಯ ಖರ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ಜನರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ತೀರ್ಪಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಸುದೀರ್ಘವಾಗಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದರು. ಅವರು ಮತ್ತು ಡಿಕೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದಂತೆ, ಸುರ್ಜೇವಾಲಾ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದಂತೆ, ಇದು 7 ಕೋಟಿ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರ ಗೆಲುವು. ಇದು
This is the victory of 7 crore Kannadigas.
ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಗೆಲುವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ಗೆಲುವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, 7 ಕೋಟಿ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರ ಗೆಲುವು. ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಕ್ಷ ಅವರು ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕೂಡ ಜನರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದವರಲ್ಲ. 2007
Karnataka people have blessed us with a victory.
ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಕಮಲದ ಮೂಲಕ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದವರು.
This is the victory against the Operation Kamala.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅತಂತ್ರ ವಿಧಾನಸಭೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ, ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ.
All right, you're hearing from Siddaramaiah, the Congress Legislature Party leader. You heard a moment ago from DK Shiv Kumar, the Congress president in Karnataka state. And is it going to be either of these two men who will lead Karnataka and lead the government in Karnataka as chief minister for the next 5 years? Or will there be a surprise candidate? So we're opening this up to our guests who are joining us here in our studios. Maima Singh of the Congress is also here in our studios. Maria Shakil, our political editor, is there in our studios as well. We have Nistula Hebar, the political editor of the Hindu newspaper, and Nalin Mehta, our own consulting editor here at CNN News 18, joining us. Maima, let me start with you. This is a phenomenal victory. Give credit where it's due. I think it's unbelievable. The extent of the victory. Yes, everyone was predicting the direction of the victory, that the Congress has its nose ahead and so on and so forth. But 136 is even bigger than S.N. Krishna's win in 1999. In fact, if you want to go back to a figure above 136, you have to go all the way back to 1989 and Virendra Patil's election of 178. So the magnitude of this victory is something phenomenal.
Good evening, all. It has to be remembered that this is the first election result after the Bharat Jodo Yatra. And of course, it is the people's issues that were at the core of our campaign. On one side, there was the BJP that was threatening the people of Karnataka that they will not get the blessings of Mr. Modi if they do not vote for the BJP. And on the other side, there was Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge doing the Man Ki Baat. Of course, there was an immense attempt to turn this into another election of hate and divide. But you see, Mohabbat Ki Dukaan has been opened today. And rather, as Pawan Khera ji has said, it's the Mohabbat Ka showroom, not only Mohabbat Ki Dukaan, because Mohabbat Ki Dukaan was opened at Himachal. Okay. So this is a people's victory. This is, of course, truly people's mandate. And I think we are going to accept this with humility and going to deliver with utmost sincerity and seriousness.
Maria?
Yes. So the point that has been made here, did the template actually begin? I can see Priyank. Congratulations, Priyank. And if you can hear me.
Yeah, thank you. I can hear you crystal clear.
Yes. So what a number, 136.
Well, like my colleagues earlier said, the Pradhan Mantri did Man Ki Baat and we did Jan Ki Baat. और जन की जीत लोगों की जीत हुई आवाम की जीत हुई जनता जनार्दन की जीत हुई and that's the reason why we have got this tremendous victory.
And just about everything worked for the Congress party. Was the template laid during Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo, or are you of the opinion that it was the local leaders, the local issues that played it, that worked for you?
Everything came together. In fact, if you saw our campaigns of PCM and Kivi Mele Hua and all the other campaigns, and also the Bharat Jodo issues that were spoken were Jan Ki Baat issues. No, it spoke about economic disparity. It spoke about unemployment. Bharat Jodo spoke about constitutional values. It spoke about price rise. That is what was Jan Ki Baat, and that's how we based our narratives on. And it struck a chord with people. The 5 guarantees that we have given also are based on similar lines. And I think it resonated well with people, and they have blessed us.
Are you one of those who will say that what played out like a united Congress will also be seen post-elections, or will there be tussle for power?
Absolutely. I have complete confidence in my colleagues, and we have won. We have got this victory. It's been a hard-fought battle, and nothing is going to take this away from us. We are united. We will remain united. We have pledged for a better Karnataka. We have pledged to give great governance to Karnataka, and we will administer Karnataka much, much better than what the BJP has done.
No, but overall, if you look at the shift, the Lingayats have voted for you. There is a shift in the Vokaligas as well, and also in the SCs. So will you be saying that all of them should be represented in some way in the government?
Look, if you have a look at all our...
Yes, Priyank.
It does not matter whether this election they did it, they did or they did not do. We have always ensured that every community is represented, even if it's a microscopic one. So, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas actually happens only in Congress.
So, but Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas will also be about power sharing.
See, it's about representation and representation for better administration.
And among the SCs, because...
And we will ensure that.
And was there a generational shift as well? So that is the reason why, you would want to be present in the cabinet? Are you one of those who will also say that why not a new face in the cabinet?
Right now, that is not on our mind, who's going to be in the cabinet. The High Command, and whereas the local leaders are very, very clear that first we need to ensure that we need a roadmap to administer Karnataka better and deliver the 5 guarantees that we have promised. The High Command will decide.
The High Command will decide, Zaka, but the SCs having voted
for... I mean, they have a strike rate of like 67%. 2 out of 3 reserved constituencies for Dalits has been won by the Congress party. We've lost the link with Priyank, but, this is not publicly known, but the Kharge family was going through an intense period of a health crisis all through this campaign, but they kept it very private. And you know a campaign, Maria. I mean, it's difficult, the rough and tumble and the heat and dust. To be able to do that along with this health crisis that their family was going through, I think is incredible. Priyank doesn't want to say it, but I'm sure he's one of the front runners to be a cabinet minister in the upcoming Congress government. But I think, not just the Vokaligas and the Lingayats, we've been pointing this out, the kind of strike rate the Congress has had. Priyank's line is back. Priyank, I know you don't like to talk about it much, but this has been a tough period also for your family, and yet to keep it together and campaign so hard, 15, 16-hour days, surely it must be feeling fulfilling, and that to see, that part of Karnataka that you come from, the Raichur, Bidar, Gulbarga belt, the Congress is swept in the North Karnataka belt. That must be particularly satisfying.
It is indeed satisfying to see that we have a high strike rate in our region. Besides that, what is even more satisfying that the constitutional values have won in Karnataka, progressive ideas have won in Karnataka. People have voted for peace, harmony and prosperity rather than divisive politics. So that's what is more heartening and satisfying.
All right. We also have Sumalata, actor, Lok Sabha Member of Parliament, who is, of course, backed by the BJP. Thank you very much, ma'am, for speaking with us. One of the interesting things, the place that you come from Mandya, it has always been a JDS versus Congress kind of a battle. Last time, I think in Mandya district, JDS swept all seats. This time, the Congress has clawed back about 3 out of the 7. And the JDS seems to have lost a lot of ground compared to last time around. What do you make of the results in Mandya district and, of course, in the wider Old Mysore region?
Actually, last time it was a total sweep for JDS in my constituency. Like my Lok Sabha constituency has about 8 assembly constituencies, and all of them were held by JDS at that point of time when I won my election. So now today it's a reverse, it seems to be a reverse sweep where JDS has lost all of them except one, and Congress has gained those seats. So you can see it's like a strong mandate against the incumbent JDS MLAs in my constituency where I come from. It's like a total decimation of the JDS party in my region.
All right. We also have TS Singh Dio from Chhattisgarh. I'll also get a word in from him. Mr. Dio, this must be a particularly satisfying day and a moment for you because the Congress has not won a big state in a very long time. You have to go all the way back to 2018 when it won Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh for a big state to have been won by the Congress. So it must be particularly satisfying that it's come after, 5 years now?
Good evening to you. Good evening to all the panelists, and congratulations to Priyank. And I hope he'll convey wedding anniversary greetings to his father and mother too. And good evening to all the viewers. Certainly a satisfying moment today. The Karnataka results, we've all been trying to follow it from a distance. And I was in the 100 to 130 seats bracket for the Congress. So it has surpassed that with so many issues current there, right from hijab to the Muslim reservation issue, to Hanumanji, the Bajrang Dal matter, BJP strong in the coastal area, northern area, JDS strong in the Old Mysuru area. What eventually would happen was difficult to say, very difficult to say. But whatever we were hearing from the media over the past few months, over the year or so, was that there was a lot of misgovernance there. Bengaluru is, for us, one of the best managed cities in the country. One of the cities with the best climate, with the best, the best togetherness. People from all over the country reside in Bengaluru. And we heard very little before these past few months and years.
There is one sense
social
that perhaps now the Congress has a template. This is about those guarantees or freebies, something that worked in Himachal, has yielded a government in the state of Karnataka. Will that be repeated in Chhattisgarh in the next few months because you have elections coming?
Chhattisgarh had its manifesto, ma'am, and we are trying to go by it, and implement as many of its 36 major points, 200 minor points inclusive. So we had set up a big target to achieve. We have achieved more than half, 60%, 70%, and there is always more to do. Chhattisgarh I see as safe for the Congress.
Okay.
How many seats we get is hazardous to venture at this moment, but there should be a clear majority for the Congress and Chhattisgarh. It has been performing. We have been trying to live up to our promises and expectations. So Karnataka will be a shot in the arm of a party which was already a little ahead. We should not be complacent. There's never ground for complacency in politics or life. But Congress is ahead.
Okay, Ms. Sumanlata, do you think the BJP campaign did not work because it was more national in nature, nationalist issues, rather than looking at the localized election in which that was how the Congress fought these elections, keeping it very, very local?
This has been the BJP strategy.
See, the campaign by Congress was very effective this time. We have to give them that today. I mean, they campaigned aggressively, but the main crux of the matter is BJP's campaign was based on more solid and realistic promises. That's how I see it. Whereas Congress has promised the moon, the stars, and the universe. Now it's left to see how they go on upon delivering that. That's a big challenge for any government. Otherwise, each party would be easily promising every constituency the same. Why they don't do that is they know that it's not that easy to deliver on these promises.
I just wanted to ask her one question.
We have to wait.
Ma'am, you can, this whole freebies versus Revidi, that debate has been going on for a while. I do want to ask you specifically about the belt that you come from. The BJP has been trying desperately to make inroads into this Vokaliga belt. And yet, even in this election, it's a number 3 party, a very distant number 3 party. Why is it not able to break through in that region, Hassan, Mysore, Mandya, that belt?
Well, see, unfortunately, as long as we have elections fought on religion and caste and community-wise, it is difficult to surmount these challenges where one party is looked upon as, the Lingayat party, and the other party is looked upon as the Vokaliga party. But I think this time, beyond that, the voter has also, there has been a domino effect of several issues which have led to this. It's not just because of one reason or the other. I see this as a build-up of so many factors that have gone into these past 5 years, and BJP has borne the brunt of it in these elections. But they have made solid promises, realistic promises, sober promises, and versus the like a potboiler masala movie promises.
Okay, so that's for you.
I think sometimes
Mahima, you have to respond to that potboiler masala promises that you have made. Unbelievable.
Let me just say.
You can't deliver those promises. That's the charge.
Well, the tabs, the scooties, the cylinders that were promised by the BJP, although I felt that the co-panelist, very respectfully I'd say, I thought that she's an independent MLA, but I see that she has a soft corner for the BJP. But the BJP had promised, freebies like cylinders, scooties, tabs. Mr. Rajnath Singh in 2022, in UP he said, you'll be getting those cylinders, which never happened. And we know about the realities of Ujjwala. We know that today a massive chunk of a poor person's monthly income goes into buying a cylinder, and then the health support and everything else. How they educate their children is another task to be looked into. So when you talk about the freebies, I think what we have promised is very well strategized. We have promised free electricity units. We have promised Yuva Nidhi, which is minimum support to the graduates and to the diploma holders. We have promised minimum income to the ladies of the house. And let me just say, we have done that. In Rajasthan, we are giving a cylinder for 500. We have delivered an old pension scheme in Himachal. We are already working on giving that minimum income support to women in Himachal, because Congress works with strategy. We do not promise for the heck of it.
Okay, so let's see what really worked for the Congress. Because if the Congress worked with a strategy, that strategy perhaps began during the Bharat Jodo, and eventually everything fell in place, including that plan of even a ban on Bajrang Dal. So what really worked for the Congress? A victory of 136, historic one certainly. that social broad basing of the Congress vote bank. There is Lingayat shift, as Zaka was pointing out. Overall, 37 Lingayat MLAs in that list of 136. There is a substantive number of Dalit shift as well that is visible. Muslims in old Mysuru belt, all of them moving away from the JDS to the Congress party. The Congress kept this election extremely local. There were local leaders focusing on local issues, talking about basics. It was about back to basics for the Congress party. They did not want to talk about Adani issue. Rahul Gandhi was in fact told very clearly by the local Congress leaders, keep that rhetoric in Delhi when you're campaigning in Karnataka. The message was of a united leadership, that Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar must come across as leaders who can iron out their differences for the sake of the party and for the larger good of the party. There was freebie galore, as Mahima was also talking about it. Did that actually lead to a shift of the women voters? The women constituency so far firmly with the BJP decided to experiment. They realized that they can get the best of both the worlds. They can get what the Congress was promising, the 2,000 rupees, and they can continue to get what the centre was giving to them in form of the toilets, the various yojanas, including the homes. So the big question then is, of course, this Bajrang Bali gambit that we have been saying, this led to the consolidation of the Muslim votes. The Congress wanted the JDS completely out of this picture in those constituencies. They wanted to ensure that the Muslims look at them as the only party which can take on the BJP, the triangular contest becoming a bipolar contest. Zaka, coming specifically to this shift or consolidation of the Muslims.
Yeah, all right, we have this unity shot, sweets now being given by Mr. Kharge to Mr. Siddaramaiah. He's diabetic, by the way, and his son Yatindra is a doctor. He's very paranoid about controlling his dad's sugar. In fact, the day that I was trailing Mr. Siddaramaiah in his campaign, he has a device, a monitor that's there on his arm. And I think every 2 or 3 hours, he has to send a message to his son, his doctor's son, saying that this is what my sugar levels are. So I'm not sure how many sweets he's had today. But I think clearly it is a message of unity, no doubt about it. And I think Mr. Kharge, because of his national stature now as AICC president, he will be called upon to be this unifier, pacifier, if at all personal ambitions of these two gentlemen come in the way, Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar. The CLP meeting will happen tomorrow. I also want to get Nistula Hebbar to weigh in on not just these pictures. You can see those. I don't know if you can see those pictures. Mr. Kharge giving sweets to all the leaders of the Congress there, and they've toiled pretty hard, no doubt, over the last 3 months or so. They have worked really hard to get to this position. But Nistula, what is the standout for you in this election? Because I keep coming back to that. The figure of 136 is even bigger than what S.M. Krishna won in 1999.
Right. So when I went to Karnataka, the first story that I actually wrote from there was that this was supposed to be a transformative election. Every party was saying that they are just going to strike out of their comfort zone and get the other guy's vote. And all three parties had devised some sort of a program for that. So the JDS gave a lot of seats, 28 out of 212, to people who didn't get tickets from other parties and fielded them in their non-traditional areas. They've won a few, as we saw in the morning. Then the BJP did all that leadership change and said, no, we have to strike out of just being a Lingayat party. And the Congress wanted more than just the Ahinda. They wanted to break the Lingayat fortress of the BJP, the north and central Karnataka. And I think that the Congress's strategy basically has turned this into a transformative election. And how long that Lingayat vote was going to stick to the Congress party, that will, of course, depend on how they behave with the community in the next 5 years, whether representation and share and power is given, because there are already too many takers. But I thought that the breaking of the Lingayat fortress and the breaking of the Mandya, the southern fortress, has been a standout moment for me. The Congress really strategized very well. I think they realized that these are the places we have to go to. As I told Maria, even on the day of the poll of the polls and this morning, the questions that the Congress asked throughout the campaign, from the beginning to the end, was whether the Lingayats would be with the BJP or not. they stuck to it. And we've seen too many of campaigns where the BJP has been setting the agenda. The Congress managed to do it for
And
this time.
whether the Vokkaligas will be staying with the JDS, that was another question. And whether the Muslims will stay with the JDS.
Now, what would be the divide in the Muslim vote? Obviously, as I said, they wanted to breach both these fortresses, the Congress, because they realized that only one will not do. The other also has to be dealt with. And I think they strategized pretty well. So it was a transformative election in that sense that you have this vast swath coming into a social coalition for one party.
Okay. T.S. Singh Devji, you know, this broad basing, as I keep saying, has happened in Karnataka. This was usually associated with the BJP, that they can get multiple castes together because of their ambitions or welfarism. But this is now...
No, the BJP has been extremely successful in
have succeeded,
UP and other states on salami slicing, you know, this large OBC chunk, you know, separating the Yadavs and the non-Yadav OBCs. They've, you know, salami sliced it away, the non-Jatav Dalits, etc. So I think the Congress kind of took a leaf out of that book. And in Karnataka, certainly it's a very Congress-minded state. Let's not forget that it was Congress which got Indira Gandhi elected to the Lok Sabha post-emergency, when she lost her elections from Raebareli post-emergency elections from Chikmagalur. Mrs. Sonia Gandhi fought from Ballari for her first election. And so it's a Congress-minded state. I think they really rediscovered their mojo. And it is a fact.
So I want to ask that
BJP
question to T.S. Singh Deo. T.S. Singh Deo, will the Congress now claim that they are the fulcrum of opposition unity? They know how to bell the cat. They have a formula. And this formula is when they become a regional player.
So difficult question to answer. And opposition unity is still in the making. We have the BRS trying to form another grouping. We have the Congress, which has been a leading party, maybe seeing itself as one of the leading players in opposition getting together. So it's difficult at the moment. It's very difficult. We had the Chief Minister of Bihar going over to Orissa, and then we had the Orissa Chief Minister's comment that he is going to stay away or equidistant from all parties.
Equidistant from both the blocks.
It's a long way still.
Yes. So will this victory today mean some movement, fast-paced movement on the opposition side where there will be more meetings? Mahima, will we be seeing that? Some more optics in terms of showing that we are now really fighting it out, we have got the mojo back?
I think that is we've always maintained that we will keep fighting for the ideology that we represent as a party. And I think the entire opposition today stands for the...
Entire opposition?
Entire opposition stands for the Constitution and its and its sanctity. I believe that it is the Constitution and the people's interest that has to be kept at the core of whatever agenda any political party is functioning with. And let me just say, I was just reminded of that day when Rahul Gandhi ji delivered that speech in Karnataka, the historical speech when he was getting drenched while speaking, and the Kannadigas that stood there to hear him out as he walked the streets of Karnataka for the pride and plight of the Kannadigas as he understood their issues. I think that day was a game changer in Congress's history with Karnataka. The opposition also is going to take away this message, and the entire country is going to take away this message.
Okay, let's see how it actually plays out.
That Modi or the BJP is not invincible today. There's no God in the Indian democracy, and that the people's issues, if at all there's a God, it is the people's issues.
Okay, so let's see how it actually plays out. We are slipping into a short break. Lots more news and updates on the other side. In fact, M.V. Patil, the tall Lingayat leader and someone who could emerge as a possible deputy chief minister in Karnataka, will be joining me shortly.